My name is John Hale, and I'm with NICO, which is Northwest Interfaith Community Outreach here in Seattle, Washington. It's a very unique organization I'd like to introduce you to today. It was founded in 2001 when 9/11 pierced the hearts of just about everyone, broke the shell of our complacency and our selfishness, and caused us to recognize the importance that we share with other people from different races, particularly Muslims. In my case, we have a very dear friend who is Saudi Arabian, and our concern after the attacks on 9/11 were that people like her were going to be victimized by virtue of association. And on the first anniversary of 9/11, we held a commemoration service to put the proper focus on that event as a crime and not a terror act, not a war, but rather a battle to deal with the crime that was created. We successfully brought people in Seattle together to celebrate that from an Abrahamic perspective, with rabbis and ministers and Sufi Muslim ministers together to grieve the event and to put a focus of hope for the future. That began the history of NICO, and it really began with an intention to deepen communities between other people of faith so that we could get to know each other better and recognize that we share common values and more in common than against, to fight fear and uncertainty. To do that, what we did is identify 4 congregations, a Muslim, a Jewish, a Protestant, and a Catholic congregation. And the intention was to host events on a monthly basis that would bring our communities together and deepen an understanding, a trust, and a tolerance and love amongst us. The question was whether that would work, and we recognized it would have to be done on a sustained basis. We did that for 3 years. We had a model that involved teaching and dialogue in large question and answer sessions, as well as in small group exercises. We used music to break the ice, and we found that we all loved to eat. And so it essentially brought large numbers of people. We had 100 to 150 people each month for 3 years that learned together and broke down the ice between us. After 3 years, we began to see an itch. It was working for us, but the need was greater to find an opportunity to encourage other people of faith and other people of spiritual practice to come together and get to know each other. And the diversity that happens is rich and fulfilling. So we undertook a goal to reach out and mentor and facilitate interfaith and interspiritual gatherings and activities in the wider community. We host an interfaith summit every year that brings people together from throughout the region to work on issues that we have in common. We also have grown an interfaith database that allows us to communicate informally and formally to people of faith and spirit, announcements and invitations to our events. We find that the focus of our organization is really captured in our mission statement. The mission is to celebrate spirit, and by spirit we recognize a oneness that we all share as humans on this earth. The other is to a commitment for interfaith collaboration. The sense is that forming communities of diversity, we get to know each other better and we go deeper in the questions and conversations that we're engaged with. And the third leg of our mission is a compassionate commitment to works of social and environmental justice in the world. We believe that our spiritual values compel us to act in the world as well as to deepen our own personal spirituality. In that process, we've had a sense of commitment and fulfillment in the experience that we've had, but we've also failed to reach out into the larger mainstream organizations. And our commitment at the moment is to find ways to invite people of all aspects who may consider themselves very fundamentalist in their beliefs to those who are secular, find a way to engage all in conversations to deepen our appreciation of our oneness and our common stake in the future. The present involvement of our work in the trenches has called us to be invited to participate with a program that His Holiness the Dalai Lama has inspired in Seattle called the Seeds of Compassion. And that is bringing people throughout Washington together to recognize the importance of establishing better seeds for kindness and compassion in the experiences of our youth from the time of birth. And this session is very serious and very inspiring in its commitment to engaging as many people as feel called to come, and with a commitment to making a change after the program on an ongoing basis. As a result, our Interfaith community has been asked to co-design the last day of the event. And what we expect to happen is that because of the authenticity of His Holiness and the focus on kindness and compassion, there is no one really that doesn't recognize and share the commitment to that way of being. The challenge is to recognize how we can come together, reason together, and make commitments that will make a difference in the future. His Holiness recognizes that we will not harvest compassion and kindness until our youth live in an environment of compassion and kindness from the time they are born. If that is the case, we will harvest compassion and kindness in their adulthood, and clearly we have much to do. Our goal is to use this event as a catalytic convener of people of all faiths and no faiths to come together recognizing the importance of how it is to be treated well and to treat each other well. And from that, grow a community of practice that will take us further into small groups and large groups and enable each of us in a self-organized manner to find a way to help build a better future. Our engagement not only with people of faith, but also with people in schools, in secular experiences, is important as we recognize to build the future we want will require that we change the political wind. And to do that, we've got to scale into all citizen neighborhoods and activities. If we recognize that this is possible and we put our sail to the wind, we're optimistic for the future. Please, if you feel called for more information or to get involved, contact me, John Hale, at our website, nico.org, or at my personal email, jehale@earthlink.net. Thank you. One thing I'd like to mention is that faith and spirituality are sometimes charged words depending on which community you're talking with. One thing that we believe is that at the root of all of our institutions is a spirituality of oneness that we all share. And the important thing to recognize is that we're in, especially the Seattle area, we're known as the none zone. People answer questionnaires as to what religious affiliation they have as none. It is a true fact that we all have a personal spirituality. We all have a lived experience with mystery. And that's what we want to come together and recognize in each other and ourselves. And from that is where we build community working together with greater insight for a better world. This is John Hale. I thank you. You can follow up with us on our website, nico.org, or with my personal email at jehale@earthlink.net. Thank you.